Hello everyone, it's Darla at Scrap Happens here with Tuesday's tip. Today I want to show you a technique. It's an old technique, but it was a technique that was in a challenge on a team page this month, and I fell in love with it again. This is the baby wipe technique, and look at that background. I just think it's so beautiful. So I want to share with you how to do it, an old technique that it might be a new favorite for you. To start with, I used the Oceanfront stamp set and the Wisteria Wishes stamp set. I just stamped the Wisteria upside down and turned it into trees. And that's the same where I got the sentiment from, happiness grows within. But let's get started and I'll show you how I did it. First, I have a 3.5 by 3 by 3.5 piece of the thick basic white cardstock. I have my pad because my stamps are photopolymer, and I have some baby wipes. There's a stack of maybe 4, 5, 6 that are folded in there together. I have 2 of them in our little stamp cases that can be purchased also. And I'm just gonna drop some ink from our re-inkers. I'm using Old Olive, Evening Evergreen, and Garden Green. I'm just gonna stamp it around. I want this to be smoother because this is gonna become my stamp pad. Garden Green and Evening Evergreen. And then I'm going to take my stamp from the Oceanfront stamp set, and I'm going to ink it up. And I'm just going to stamp it right on that piece of thick cardstock. Now I need to add some more ink on there, you can see. So I'm just gonna, I think there's probably enough ink on there. I need to push a little harder. Gather it up. And then I'm gonna re-stamp it. There we go. Another thing you can do, and I didn't grab it, but let me see if I can grab it really quickly. My baby wipes might be a little bit dry. So I have my little spritzer, and I'm just gonna spray. You can spray either water or alcohol just to add some moisture. And let's see what that does to it. Super pretty. And then I'm gonna just add with some Evening Evergreen, I'm gonna stamp some trees. I'm gonna take this scratch piece of paper because I want to make my trees shorter. Oops, get that up there, but I don't want them to go into that white space. So there you go. And then one more. Now I'm going to take some Garden Green ink and add that. And again, I want them to be a little shorter. And there you have it. Isn't that beautiful? And then I backed it with a piece of evening evergreen cardstock, and I stamped my sentiment in some Memento black ink. I just love how it turned out. Oh, I got my finger on it. Darn it. And I got my finger on the card. Gosh, you have to be really careful when you're making cards. But I'll figure out something to do with this to hide my mistakes. But it still shows you the technique of the baby wipes. Anyways, look for my fixes on my blog at scraphappensherewithdarla.com. If you liked what you saw today and want to learn more techniques or have more tips, hit subscribe and you won't miss another video. You can also follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And that's it. Thank you so much for stopping by today. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you next week with Tuesday's tip.